and other problems. Be extremely careful with the use of those things. Do not overextend them. Keep them well away, well ventilated. Every storm, we will get reports of people who are in the hospital because of carbon monoxide poisoning. It's colorless, it's odorless, you don't know it until it's too late and you pass out. Carbon monoxide poisoning from those generators being too close to your home or the fumes being sucked into a window. Please be careful. If you've got those generators running, be careful with them.
And Bob, as the storm moves through here and gets out of here, and that can't happen anytime too soon, we see the damage. We can already anticipate what people are going to be going through. Many of us have had similar experiences, and people want to help. That is one of the incredible things about this place in which we live, is that people will want to help. We're always reminded that the best way to help is with your financial contributions. Governor Scott has already activated Florida's disaster fund for Hurricane Michael. You can access that fund, get information about it by going to floridadisasterfund.org. If you're ready to make your contributions now, you can text disaster to 20222. Again, you can text disaster to 20222 or visit their website, floridadisasterfund.org. And again, the financial contribution is always the best way to help.
I recall those images from Katrina. So many people here wanting to help, and piles and piles and piles of clothes and baby goods that all were thrown out. They were left on the side of the highways, but they had no place to bring them, no idea what to do with them. The best of intentions, and they fell short. So the cash is the best thing to do. Well, that said, we're going to go to Wakulla County right now, where Mike Magnoli is standing by further. Oh, he's not live. He filed this report just a few minutes ago, apparently. Thanks, Oriette.
Well, we've had to change location since the last time we checked in with you. We're about 15 minutes from the coast now, but we're still in Wakulla County, and the gusts of winds that we're seeing here, strong enough to knock over the trash cans at this little gas station. What I'll have my photojournalist Chris Hinson do right now is give you a look at the trees across the way. So, okay, we're still a little bit a ways from landfall of Michael, and this is inland, but this will give you a sense of what the wind is doing here. Trees getting thrashed around, some signs getting thrashed around.
All right, we were having some technical glitches there. Again, those things not unanticipated in situations like this, weather conditions being what they are. Renee Benanati, a while ago, made her way to the Gulf Power warehouse and has this report for us.
Right now we're in Gulf Power's warehouse in Pensacola. As you can see, we're surrounded by hundreds of boxes. Now these are filled with items like this polymer insulator that are going to be packed up and sent with workers responding to heavily hit areas. Right now we have Gordon Paulus with Gulf Power. Thank you so much for joining us, who's going to give us a little bit more information about this. First off, can you tell us a little bit about what is going on here?
Well, we created 6 storm kits before the storm season even started. And what we have done, we have deployed them out already ahead of the storm. We sent 4 to the Panama City area, 2 to the Central District in Fort Walton Beach, and we have 1 here in the Western District or the Pensacola area. We've sent 1 more out today. We're working on 2 more because what we do with these is we stage them out in the areas where the damage occurs, and then linemen will come and knowing what they need to get, such as bolts, cutouts, transformers, poles, wires, you name it. There's over 90 different items that we have. And each kit probably has 120,000 different pieces. And so the linemen will get these pieces and they'll use that to make the repairs. And it makes it more efficient and it allows us to get the customer's power restored sooner.
And once again, as you were saying, how does this affect response time?
It's a more efficient way of getting to the linemen to make the repairs quick. It's there at the site, so they don't have to go it. We bring it to them. And we're also bringing down materials throughout the next few days from other parts to keep the materials going for our line workers.
I know people in the area are going to be wondering what they can expect for power outages. What can you tell us about?
Well, here in the Pensacola area, we're still getting tropical storm force winds, so our crews are already working to restore those outages. But we have to get out of the bucket trucks when it reaches 30 miles an hour just for safety purposes. But when the winds die down and there's more outages, we will continue to work here in the Pensacola area today and tonight until we get everything restored. And then as we determine the extent of the damage over in Fort Walton Beach and Panama City, then we will start repairs there as soon as it's safe to do so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gordon. Once again with Gulf Power. Now, as you can see, they're working around the clock and very diligently to make sure that everybody stays safe and has power throughout the storm. For now, reporting in Pensacola, Renee Benenati, Channel 3 News.
All right, thank you very much, Renee. We have Santa Rosa Sheriff Bob Johnson is back on the phone with us. Sheriff, what's the latest there?
Right now, Sue, we just opened up the Navarre Beach Bridge. The wind gusts are down to 25, so we've opened that bridge back, but Garcon Bridge is still currently closed.
What are the wind speeds you're recording on the Garcon Point Bridge now, Sheriff?
The last one we did, which was I want to say about 20 minutes ago, was 42.
So we're still seeing tropical storm force winds there too. Any other reports of problems, roadways, drivers? Relatively few reports of any kind of significant problems in Northwest Florida as a result of the storm. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Santa Rosa County, we've had very few reports of that. The most things we've been responding to, believe it or not, during the hurricane are domestic disturbances. So I guess people being cooped up sometimes isn't all that great, but roads are open. We don't know of any road closures. No trees are down that we've heard of, and so it's going relatively smooth.
What about the shelter situation over there that you have? I was unable to get the numbers on the people who actually took advantage of the shelters. Do you have any idea?
No, Sue, I haven't heard. I can probably get that for you because we have a deputy posted at each one, but I haven't heard, and I haven't heard of any overcrowding or anything like that at the shelters either. So I know they're not overflowing, that's for sure.
The Emergency Operations Center at the Sheriff's Office, and how long do you think the emergency activation in Santa Rosa County will last? Do you have any idea about that?
I don't think it's going to be too much longer, Bob. I think probably if I was a betting man, I'd say we're probably close it up by 4 or 5 p.m.
And people still heeding the warnings to stay off the roads? Is it relatively calm out there as it was earlier today?
It is. I'm seeing a few more cars, but it's still, traffic is way down, especially on Highway 98 in Navarre. Very few cars out, which is a good thing. People heeding the warning. And really, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot to see anyways. Like I said, no down trees. There's not a whole lot going on, which is the way we like it.
For the reasons, as you're saying that, we're looking at pictures from, I'm assuming, Panama City Beach or Mexico Beach with some roofing coming off of buildings and some intense winds blowing palm trees well over. Just pretty spectacular pictures right now. Sheriff Bob Johnson, anything else you want to pass along to our viewers before we let go?
We're going to measure the winds on the Avalon or the Garcon Point Bridge at 2 o'clock. And we anticipate that we will be opening up at 2 o'clock. But that's not guaranteed. We're going to take one more reading and then we'll let you know.
All right, Sheriff, I just wanted to mention something again. I couldn't help but notice, I guess, the tone of your voice when we spoke a little bit earlier, and I asked you whether any of your staff would be ready to deploy and go to the aid of the individuals farther to the east of us, and you said, oh, they will need us. And I don't know, that's just that's the way it goes, that we do reach out and we make ourselves available. What type of assistance do you anticipate sending?
Well, right now, they're going to deal with infrastructure issues. They're taking portable radios and repeater systems, so in case their radio systems are down at whatever county we go to, that we'll be able to hand out portables to their deputies or their officers, and they'll be able to have radio communications. And we also take chainsaws to assist in clearing roadways, because as you know, when we had Ivan hit in 04, that was the biggest problem, was trying to get down 87 because all the trees were down. So that's going to be the initial team, and then when that team gets relieved, the second team that goes in is more or less patrol officers that will assist them in answering calls while their deputies or their officers go and try to fix their homes and take care of their own families.
All right, sir. I know it's just kind of doing what you do, but it's just heartwarming and reassuring to hear. We appreciate it, and safe travels to your crew.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll call back and update you on the Garcon Bridge here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Sheriff.
Appreciate that. Let's bring that video to the right, full screen orient if we could. And, could you tell me where we're getting that feed from? Panama City. And I'm assuming that the building that will lose its roof was in Panama City as well? All right, so closest to the eye and where it came ashore and closest to the highest speed winds, you're seeing some of the damage from Panama City and some intense winds and driving rain. I think they were expecting, 5-6 inches of rain in Panama City, so you're seeing some of that come down now.
Well, and we had spoken earlier with Matthew Seedorf in Panama City, and he was in that 20-story building, and he said literally they felt the building swaying, and they got to the stairwell, made their way down the stairs, and kind of hunkering down on one of the lower floors. You can only imagine just how frightening that had to be.
Well, you could hear the anxiety in his voice, and
yeah.
we should tell our audience that every crew that we send out in the field and every crew that we touch base with and contributes to this newscast that's being broadcast across northern Florida right now. The first thing we tell them is to be safe. Do not do anything that puts you in harm's way. You saw Christina, looking around to make sure that there wasn't any flying debris when she was reporting from Miramar Beach. Nobody's asking anyone to go into a situation that's going to put them in jeopardy, and to be safe first. So want to pass that along. So safety first, and obviously, was it Matthew you said that was in Panama City?
Yes.
You could hear.
You could, and understandably so.
It's an uncomfortable position. All right, Hannah McKenzie is.
She's in Destin.
She's been bouncing back and forth in Okaloosa County, but we've caught up with her in Destin right now. Hannah, can you hear me?
Hey, you guys, yeah, so last time I checked in with y'all, we kind of saw some strong wind. I would say it's probably getting worse here right now. So I will say I've been keeping my eye on those street signs, as you can see behind me, because those things have been fluttering like butterflies in the wind, and they are kind of daunting, very scary. The street light as well. So those are the kind of things that can get loose during storms like that and become projectiles and become deadly. And so I think this is one of the areas where things get very dangerous, because since we've had a break from the rain, lots of people are now out and about. They want to come out here, they want to look at the conditions, and that's when things get dangerous, because like I said, street signs can become loose and tree branches are flying, things like that. Okay, so I want to take you guys over to take a look at the Gulf to see how things have been changing over there. And I say changing, but I mean, honestly, conditions haven't changed too much. The surf is still very, very strong, and those waves still coming in very hard. Somewhat of the beach, still not what we're used to over here in Destin. We're used to that big white beach. Nope, not so much right now. Just couple 100 feet available to walk on, but of course no one should be doing so right now since it is double red flags. We did see a bunch of people out here earlier on the beach taking photos. Luckily those guys have cleared out, but like I said, a lot have been walking around on the streets and coming just to kind of take a look. We want to advise people to stay home right now. This is when things get very dangerous. Also, Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office reporting that I guess there was some national media that was reporting that their bridges were closed here. They want to make sure that it's known that the bridges are not closed here. So we'll check in, guys, a little bit later. Reporting live in Destin, Hannah McKenzie, Channel 3 News.
All right, thank you, Hannah.
I think she's talking about Mid-Bay Bridge specifically there.
Correct.
Correct. So from that indication, Mid-Bay Bridge is still open. The only bridge we know in the area that is closed down is the Garson Point Bridge, and as we heard Sheriff Bob Johnson in Santa Rosa County say just a few minutes ago, they should have checked about a minute ago, and he anticipated reopening that very shortly, as the winds in Santa Rosa County have apparently dipped below the tropical storm force. We want to send it to Tallahassee right now, and Damon Miller, I believe, police chief.
I'm not sure about the position, but Officer Damon Miller with the Pensacola Police Department. He's on the phone with us. We had a chance we had a video interview with him earlier. From